Well, Fox 13 is committed to investigating environmental problems plaguing our communities. We've shown you air pollution problems in South Memphis and concerns about chemicals causing cancer near the Defense Depot. Well, tonight, a separate problem, something that is called coal ash.
There are tons of it in Southwest Memphis. The coal ash is being moved from the retired TVA electric plant to a safer location. Environmentalists do applaud the cleanup, but a very loud few in Memphis are furious with just how it's being done.
120. That's how many trips trucks just like this one make each day, each one hauling toxic coal ash through South Memphis. Earlier this month, TVA demolished the 3 smokestacks at the coal-powered Allen fossil fuel plant, which produced electricity for 7 decades. The coal ash being hauled away is what's left after that coal was burned to generate the electricity. How much coal ash? 3.5 million cubic yards. That's enough to cover 21 football fields. All of it, according to EPA, contains poisonous levels of arsenic, mercury, and cadmium. This is why federal rules mandate the coal ash be dug up and moved to a better protected location, which in this case is the South Shelby landfill.
Everything that TVA is doing is because they were forced to do it. None of this is altruistic in nature.
Tennessee State Representative Justin Pearson just took his seat in the legislature in January. But the 28-year-old says he's taking a stand against what he views as an extreme injustice against the people he represents.
This is not the way that you treat a community, and this is not the way a white community in Memphis or Shelby County would be treated. This is happening because they know that they can be exploitative against black people.
Pearson says he's concerned about the amount of airborne coal ash from the trucks as they pass through the community. We took those concerns to TVA. The company, which has contracted with Republic Services of Memphis to haul the ash, told Fox 13 in a written statement that the trucks being used are specially designed with leak-proof beds, are washed down before each trip, and the load is covered with a tarp to prevent spillage.
So you're telling me they're going to clean this up and haul all of this through the streets of Memphis for how long?
10 years. Their plan is to do this for 10 years.
So they will be cleaning out that pit and hauling this through the streets of Memphis for 10 years?
For 10 years, and then leaving it in Memphis for eternity.
This is the route those coal ash trucks are traveling, making some 19,000 toxic truckloads by the time it's all cleaned up. After leaving the Allen fossil plant, the trucks get onto I-55 at Mallory. They cross into Whitehaven and eventually wind up on Shelby Drive.
And once they get on the exit, they come this way, going east to the landfill. So the trucks literally pass this house right here. And yes, they should be concerned as well as this whole neighborhood.
Pearl Walker has worked as an environmentalist for the NAACP. Now she heads up the I Love Whitehaven Neighborhood and Business Association. Like Pearson, she's angry at the prospect of poison being trucked down her Memphis streets. She only wishes there were more voices as loud as hers.
I'm saddened that the community is not more concerned and outraged over it. Many of us have heard about it. We've seen reporting and tons of stuff on social media, but people, everyday citizens, just understanding the implications of coal ash trucks running through your community. And for your viewers who don't know about it, just Google the Kingston and coal ash. It was a very tragic time in the history of the state of Tennessee, and it didn't happen that long ago.
The Kingston coal ash spill is the largest coal ash disaster in U.S. history. In December of 2008, a dike surrounding a coal ash pond at the TVA Kingston fossil plant ruptured, spilling more than 1 billion gallons of coal ash slurry, covering the rural land nearby with 6 feet of sludge. 12 homes were damaged or destroyed. Nearby waterways were polluted. And the cleanup took more than a year and cost an estimated $1 billion. To be clear, the Allen plant cleanup is not because of any disaster. But it is definitely a concern given the potential harm to the drinking water and to the air we breathe. Is there another way to clean up the ash that would keep coal off Memphis city streets?
It seems wrong when you do have this potential alternative that could reduce air quality impacts.
Amanda Garcia of the Southern Environmental Law Center told me taking the ash by train car would have been a more environmentally friendly way. But when that idea was put forward,
TVA's response was not very satisfying. They basically said it didn't fit our criteria. And it wasn't very clear what their criteria were, but whatever their criteria were, it seemed to exclude moving the ash by rail.
we asked TVA about that option. We were told in a written statement that TVA did explore moving the ash by train, river barge, and truck. They also explored nearly 800 landfill locations within 600 miles of Memphis, and that moving the material by train would have taken 15 years instead of their best estimate of 8 years by truck. Pearl Walker and Justin Pearson both want the same thing.
We would like for it to stop. And if it can't be stopped, we want them to be more responsible about excavating it from the ground as well as hauling it because it's going through residential communities.
They know that they can do this and they don't expect us to resist. But myself and a lot of other people are resisting because they don't need to operate in this county and in this city.
We contacted Republic Services for comment on our story as well. The company said that they are very proud of the safety and environmental sustainability record they have, and that they work closely with regulatory partners to help protect the surrounding community. Now, there is another informational meeting about this project scheduled for this Thursday. It's at Oak Haven High School. It starts at 6 o'clock. And we found out that representatives from TVA, Republic Services, and the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation will be there, along with Pearl Walker, to ask questions.